Someone commented on my YouTube channel stating that they never see me post much about sweets, asking if I ever crave sweets, especially around my cycle. I can see where they're going with that, even though I never really put much thought into it, because typically I post a lot about whole foods or just real food in general. But now, for my Facebook and my YouTube audience, if you go over to my TikTok account where I have a playlist, it says low calorie, high protein meals. I do have some sweets in there, like some desserts, high protein, low calorie desserts. But in all honesty, I've just never been someone that craves a lot of sugar. And it's not because I think I'm better than anybody else or for any other reason, just then it's just never been my thing. I've always liked food. But I did have one spell when I was on antidepressants. The name of the antidepressant that I was on is called Seroquel, and it made me crave a lot of sugar, a lot of sweets. But overall, I know what my problem was when I look back and just think back over my diet and how was I eating during the period where I gained the most amount of weight. It all boiled down to overconsumption of calories. So before I made this video, I went on the internet and pulled some photos of some foods that I like to eat a lot before I knew anything about calories. And I'm going to explain to you all how I gained the weight. So first off, y'all have to remember my husband and I were trying to find our place in life and just leading a normal life in general. We were both coming off of drugs, hadn't been long, got out of jail. And so naturally, while trying to get a home to live in, vehicles to drive, jobs so that we could work, we often turned to food for fun because we were used to getting our next fix, which made food always kind of like a not so important thing. So anyway, a lot of the times, my husband and I, we had got us a trailer to rent, and we would just wake up in the middle of the night and him or either one of our children, somebody would be laying in their bed and just randomly text, y'all want to go to the Waffle House? So it was like a family outing, just our way of having fun. And so we would get up and go to the Waffle House. This is typically what I would order from the Waffle House: 2 fried eggs, smothered, covered, everything you can think of in the hash browns, 2 toast, jelly, and a sweet tea to drink. This is ranging anywhere from 800, if not more, calories alone. Some of my go-to snacks during this time, and again, I was on a medication called Seroquel shortly after I got out of jail that caused me to crave a lot of sweets. So a lot of the times I'll hear people say, oh, I'm on such and such medication, or birth control made me gain weight or made me blow up. Actually, the medications themselves does not cause you to gain weight, but a lot of the times they will increase your appetite. So if that's something that you've been made aware of, just try to watch it. Up next, these peaches and cream parfaits were my go-to. And here's the thing, it's like 4 to a pack. They're only about 100, 110 calories per cup. But that medication just had me like, oh, I was a mad woman. It was crazy. I would literally go to the Dollar General in my hometown and buy about 15 of those things. And I would eat at least 12. So that's 12 times 4 times 100. That's like 4,800 calories. And I know y'all probably are like, it is no way. Yes way. You have to remember, I was a recovering drug addict. And again, I didn't know anything about calories. I knew I was eating a lot, but I just still, the fact that I was clean and people like, oh, the extra weight looks good on you when it first started coming on, then some people got really concerned, like, oh my God, have y'all seen Adrienne lately? She has gotten so big. But it was just like an obsessive compulsive behavior, because that's how I was with my drug addiction. I hate to say this, but a chronic addict, donkey. So I treated food the same way. It was my new vice. Next is Doritos. This was another one of my go-tos. And whenever I was grabbing quick groceries, my husband would always say, you may as well get the big bag. So I would get the party bag. And for one big party bag of Doritos, it's 2,250 calories. My husband would eat half and I would eat half. So you do the math. Let's divide that by 2. These were some of my go-to drinks. I love coconut water at that particular time. This is not the exact brand, but it was in a can similar to this. And there's nothing wrong with the foods. I'm not demonizing any of the things that I'm listing here. It's just that you have to remember I had obsessive compulsive, like I treated food like I did my behavior around drugs whenever I was an addict. So those coconut drinks are 100 calories per can. I was drinking like 6 of those a day. And in my mind, I thought because they were healthy that everything was okay. And now, mind you, I knew I was gaining weight and I was doing YouTube workout programs on my phone at least 5 days out of the week. But because of lack of knowledge with calories and things like that, I was steadily gaining weight, even though I was doing, what is it, P90X workout program online. In all honesty, I could not find a salad that looked like it was drenched in ranch and Italian dressing enough to fit the way that my salads used to look. After feeling guilty for eating Doritos and the parfaits all day, my hometown has a little country restaurant that sells these really good salads. But my problem was me adding the chicken breast. I wanted extra eggs, extra this, extra that. I wanted extra ranch and Italian, so I would drench it in 1,200 calories with dressing alone. That's not including the chicken breast and the eggs and everything else on the salad. Not every single day, but it is safe to say that a few days out of the week, more than a few, I was eating over 5,000 calories a day. Easy. Once I learned the ropes about nutrition, calories, protein, carbs, fats, ever since then, it's been a game changer. 60 to 80% of my eating habits is going to be geared around whole foods. The other 20 to 40%, I do what I want to with it. So yes, occasionally I crave sweets, but it's not bad. And in fact, I don't know if I posted on my YouTube channel or not, but I think I did. I had, not long ago, had this little run with Krispy Kreme donuts. And because I like to be transparent with y'all, I posted. I had this thing for donuts for about a week or so. And probably about 3 days out of 1 week, I went by Krispy Kreme. And I got me 3 donuts each time I would eat 2. One day I actually ate 3. A few times it sent me over my calories. And a lot of the times I made sure that it fit in my calorie budget for the day. So it's not that I avoid sweets because I think I'm better than anybody else or for any particular reason. But I do know that if you're craving primarily sweets all the time, you need to reroute your eating habits. Start focusing on whole foods for a while. And once you get the hang of that, go back and then sprinkle in some of the fun foods. But if you increase your protein and your fiber, and if your goal is to lose weight, you get into a calorie deficit. And if it's to maintain your weight, just track your maintenance calories. And if you want to gain weight, go into a calorie surplus. As long as you're incorporating a significant amount of protein, a good amount of fiber, that should cut out a lot of that unnecessary craving for dead foods. I also had a run, it's probably been about 6 months ago, with Little Debbie zebra cakes. I don't care what nobody say about Little Debbie zebra cakes. I love those things. But I bought me some and I ate like 2, like it's 2 in a pack, and I ate one each day for about 3 or 4 days. Eventually, I asked my husband to kind of help me out so I didn't just go into this humongous, just like a cycle. But anyway, I've been doing this long enough now that I know that I won't never get out of control with it or make it habit for me. A lot of it has to do with discipline and mindset, but you have got to change your eating habits. Start focusing on whole foods so that it can help pull some of those unnecessary cravings from you. And like always, guys, I hope that this video helps. Let me know what y'all think.